Now for 2013, how do you perceive all the firms? I mean, there's a lot of marketing happening with firms. Individuals are marketing, firms are marketing. There's free social media channels. Founders are very influenced by these channels and access to it. Why do you think firms are marketing themselves so much?
Yeah, it's been a very interesting thing. I mean, when I joined the venture business in 2000, uh, in many ways, the idea of marketing, PR for venture firms was a dirty word. It had been this very gentlemanly profession, and people were supportive of entrepreneurs, and the word got around that these are the best firms. Here's how who you'd go to for funding, etc. But as the funds expanded, and as the energy and excitement around investment got greater, then suddenly there were magazines that were promoting venture investors. There were all these things that were sort of creating this dynamic that said, gee, I as the investor have to create a brand for myself. So that was the first piece that sort of emerged, and then social media is the second one. A friend of mine from August Capital and I started this blog at August called Venture Blog. This is now 10 years ago, and it was the first VC blog, and people thought it was crazy that you would write about what was happening in the industry, because it was this quiet industry, and people pretended it was a black box, and oh, you can't tell what goes on behind the curtain, then everybody will know. Well, we sort of looked at it and said, I'd rather have a discussion with entrepreneurs and tell them how I'm thinking about the world than try and hide behind a curtain. So all of those things have sort of changed to lead to a much more competitive environment where entrepreneurs have a lot more information, they're making choices about where they raise money, and as a result, venture investors like myself have to be able to distinguish ourselves from others. And what's the path to that?